Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Oscar Buzz. Trevor here, joined by Thomas as always, and we are back. It's been a couple weeks. We both went on a bit of vacation. I was looking around at colleges, all of the fun stuff, but we're back talking about stuff. We timed our trips pretty perfectly because nothing really happened, but we're talking about the Maestro trailer today. This is one of Netflix's biggest Oscar contenders for the year. We know it is heading to Venice. We'll see if it's going to Telluride, like all of the things, but Bradley Cooper making, his follow-up to A Star Is Born, also starring in it, but maybe not top billing as we learned. It seems like Carey Mulligan is actually going to be the lead of the film. There's been controversy about both of them in the film, so we'll be talking about all of it. But Thomas, general first impressions about this trailer.
Well, the first thing I thought after watching the trailer was, well, that is a Netflix Oscar contender, which is a double-edged sword to a degree, because on the one hand, obviously, yes, it will be a Netflix Awards contender. That does suggest it will potentially do quite well at the awards. It does look quite awards-friendly, all of those kind of stuff. Bradley Cooper looks like he's doing it all. Carey Mulligan looks like she's doing it all. The nominations are there, but also it did kind of just look quite generic. It kind of looked like I'd seen this before. What are we really going to be seeing from this? I don't know. It provided me with no conflict whatsoever. This trailer showed me nothing about what the story was going to be.
I think that's fine for a trailer, though. I don't like for a first trailer. I want vibes
from it other than just sort of fanciful. Oh, let's do a little Carey Mulligan and Bradley Cooper. Let's just show their chemistry.
I'm fine with that for a first trailer, though. I don't want to be. I don't want to be told the whole story.
I wanted a bit more, especially when we've not been hearing great things out of Tess. I wanted to be excited about this film, and I just was not in the slightest coming out of that first trailer.
I'm more excited than I was.
Really? I'm not. See, I'm not. I do think
cinematography looks great.
I think it looks visually interesting. The makeup as well. Like Bradley Cooper, yeah, there's obviously controversy, which will.
There's the nose thing, and I'll just address it quickly, just briefly. The nose thing. So the nose, they made him have a big nose, and that's obviously a Jewish stereotype. And Leonard Bernstein didn't actually have that big of a nose. If you look at pictures, Bradley Cooper without the big fake nose looks more similar to Leonard Bernstein than with Bradley Cooper with the big fake nose. So that was a whole thing. It looked very much like it was a stereotype. Leonard Bernstein's kids said that they approved it and that is what he would have wanted. I mean, who am I to say that they're just, making it up for press? Like, I'll believe them. But like, I don't know. You can feel about how you want to feel about it. We won't go too much into it. It's weird. I mean, it isn't as bad as Golda. I guess we can just say that.
No, it's not as bad as Golda. And as I say, it does look technically, like speaking, quite good the way they've done the makeup, the way to differentiate the different time periods.
Regardless of
Bradley Cooper does look significantly older in one moment than the other, which is the sort of purpose of that. Carey Mulligan, there does also seem to be, again, more controversy with Carey Mulligan's casting. But again, the makeup on her seems, makeup on her seems good as well. So, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, visually, it could be quite good. I trust Bradley Cooper as a director. I really like The Star Is Born. I just wasn't getting anything out of the story aspect at all, or really what these characters are about, what they've got going for them. I just felt it was just sort of two people.
I don't think we need that from a minute 20-second teaser for a biopic. Like, I don't need that yet. Like,
no, but with biopics, I do think you need a focus, and we need to see something about what they're focusing on.
Like, I don't need that right now.
It will be, but I do want to see that personally from a trailer. I do want there to be something for me to get involved with, especially with biopics. And this is what we've heard people saying. Like, we've heard it being say it's messy, it's too overambitious, there's too much they're trying to do, it's convoluted. And I can see why that might be a problem through this trailer, because there doesn't appear to be any focus. Like, there doesn't appear to be, okay, this is the sort of component that we really want to explore with.
It's really not that much to go off of looking at it from an awards perspective, other than, and I think that this is the bigger thing, Carey Mulligan being on the poster and getting top billing, which is really fascinating. And people are saying, okay, the Maestro title refers to her. A couple of people from Test Screens have said that no, she is actually the lead of the film. I think that she could be strong an actress. I'm going to be completely honest. This is how Carey Mulligan can win Best Actress.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I still think that Bradley Cooper is also lead, and I actually think that they'll both be strong.
Yeah, no, it seems that they're selling it on this sort of chemistry idea, like it's a lot of the two of them together. But I do agree, Carey Mulligan is sort of broadcast to be the lead in this, which I think is interesting. I do think that strengthens her chances. And I also think Bradley Cooper still has just as much chance. Winning, maybe not, especially if he is overshadowed maybe by Carey Mulligan. Whichever one is maybe the more sort of showy performance, I think that is one that will be stronger in terms of win contention. But I'm sure they both have a good chance of being nominated. They're both big names. They're both respected names within the academy. So,
I think
and they're both playing historical figures, which is always.
I think that Carey Mulligan almost has a better chance to win, if I'm being honest, because actors really stack. Like, obviously, you got Caleb Murphy there. Actors feels very open right now. I mean, you have Fantasia Brainer, you have Sandra Hiller, you have Greta Lee, but like, are any of them really going to win? I don't know. I think that Carey Mulligan could potentially be strong for it. Also, I've heard rumors that Bradley Cooper wants to focus more on the directing campaign, which he's not going to win. I don't even know if he's getting nominated for this. But if he's pushing hard for that, I don't know. Like, I still think he gets nominated for actor. But I also don't think that this film is going to win 2 lead acting awards.
No, God no. Like, one of them is winning at most. But yeah, it's interesting Bradley Cooper directing, because I would have said that could help him build a sort of acting campaign, because he's not. I don't think he'll get in directing even. I think that is pretty stacked category this year. So, but if you do attach your directing to like maybe an acting campaign potentially, I feel like there is more room there to build a sort of run.
I still think he gets in, but I don't know if he wins.
I still think he gets in. No, I think lead actor is just too stacked of a category at this stage.
Yeah, so it's an interesting one. And the other question is, like, where are the nominations coming from? I think cinematography can happen. Matthew Libatique. It looks good. His cinematography.
It does look good. It does look showy as well.
Yes,
which is always
very
good.
showy. Very like luscious, I guess. A lot of the colors are popping. And then there's also black and white in it as well. Like,
which is always helpful.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel good about that. And then like the makeup, I think is probably going to win. This is the only like big prosthetic showy transformation thing this year.
Yeah, I mean, the question is, how much does the controversy really affect it?
Once again, the whale just won last year, so
exactly. But yeah, like, this should be winning makeup. In which case, like, instinctually, you should then say, okay, then can it win a lead acting? Potentially.
Absolutely. So the question is, best picture. Is it Netflix's top priority? If it's getting actor and actress, maybe with Carey or Bradley winning, and it's getting cinematography, makeup, is that enough for picture, or is it just like being the Ricardos, but like a little bit better?
I think evidently it is Netflix's top priority, but
yeah, I think at this point,
like, it's clearly they especially when we heard this sort of first test reactions, they're going back, they're sort of reworking it, whatever, they're sending it to festivals, they're giving it this prime release date.
And you got Spielberg and Scorsese producing.
Exactly, they're doing everything with this film, and the thing about Netflix is the stuff they push their weight behind usually does happen and usually does get nominations. You can go very far. I mean, look at All Quiet last year. That was nothing. Netflix pushed it. It suddenly became number 2 in Best Picture.
Yep.
So, like, there's a good chance that this is Netflix's number 1. That question really comes down to, well, is it good? Because we saw last year with Netflix, they had a lot of potential contenders. Blonde was a potential contender at one stage. Bardo had, had all of these contenders, and they just didn't perform well. They weren't received very well. So that is a big question with this film, which I'm a little worried about. After this trailer, I'm not entirely sure it will work for me personally. I'm not entirely sure it will work for the film, but we'll see.
It'll be interesting. I mean, it could be more of like the Ma Rainey's path, like, which was received generally well. I mean, but like, you also have like Charles Chicago 7, like Don't Look Up wasn't received well. Granted, it was like really watched. So like, I don't know, it's a weird position for Netflix, but I mean, they'll find something. And again, if you're having things like 2 lead acting nominations potentially happening, I think that's a bit hard to argue against if you're PR for Netflix and you're campaigning. Like, I don't know. So it's a solid maybe. It's very much on the bubble for Best Picture, I think.
Agreed. I mean, another question is potentially, though, if something else does spring up and then it becomes a sort of secondary concern for Netflix, then I don't think it would necessarily have to happen for things like picture. But at this stage, I think it's a good bet. I think it is a solid shout to go for this in picture.
Overall, I'm intrigued to see what the film does. I'm interested. It could go in a lot of different directions. And I think that it will probably be divisive.
You'd imagine. It feels like that type of film.
Oh, absolutely. But we'll see. But those are our thoughts on the Maestro trailer. We're back to videos. We're going to be having some Oscar prediction stuff coming up soon. All of the fun stuff. But until then, thank you for watching. You can subscribe to stick around for more or not. It's fine, whatever. But thank you everybody for watching. Until next time, stay safe and goodbye.